Good luck picking the real one.
It'll be the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
Again, somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how we keep getting away with recording this drivel.
No. Because no one's stopping us. But also, no one's encouraging us.
I think it's because no one knows it's happening.
Yeah, no one cares. That's the real thing.
Yeah. And I guess, speaking of things we thought we wouldn't care about, sports TV.
Yeah. And yet, here we are, talking about the sports.
Yes.
And that's right, all of them.
All 2 of the ones that we could fit into this week.
Yep.
Although I guess maybe technically 3, because I thought it was a different sport in one of them.
To be fair, you do care about a different version of one of the sports.
True, but it's like a better version.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about now.
I was talking about how Formula One's a better version of NASCAR.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you meant NASCAR was a better version of F1. I was like, do you really think that? Because that would very much surprise me. But I guess
it would surprise me as well, and I think actually offend people.
Shall we start with that one then, seeing as we've mentioned it?
Yeah.
Given it a little mention. So The Crew, which is Paul Blart Mall Cop's show, and I don't care what else his real name is or what else he's been in. For me, he will always be Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Ah, yes. You mean Kevin James?
No, I mean Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah, I would like to see if you can just increase the speed at which you say that every time.
Just try and reduce the number of syllables in Paul Blart Mall Cop.
But it still has to sound right. So you can't just go, bleh.
Yeah, but you know that when I say Paul Blart Mall Cop, you know that I'm talking about Paul Blart Mall Cop.
I do know that, but if you say something that isn't those words, if you start basically speaking Welsh, I might not understand.
So Paul Blart Mall Cop in this is what is his position? I guess he's like the chief.
Crew chief, yeah,
Okay,
like head
crew
mechanic.
chief. Sure.
If it was Formula One, he'd have a proper job title.
Yeah, he's the crew chief, which we've just learned is a thing, of Bobby Spencer Racing, which is a NASCAR team. There begins and ends my understanding of what this show is.
It's just a sitcom based in a race team.
Yeah. And his team gets taken over by one of them, their woman.
Yeah.
Which, as you can imagine, goes down real well, real smooth, and with no real problems for these people.
Although I was surprised at the lack of just outright sexism, because that's not what I understand motor racing to be.
To be fair, it was like I did wonder what sort of. I really did feel like it could have gone either way. Like, you know, when you know what side a show is taking on a particular issue, I was like, I don't know which side of the fence you're going to fall. And thankfully, it does fall on the right side of it. However,
we've only seen one episode.
We've only seen one episode, and it doesn't mean it's any fucking good at all.
Yeah, I think it's quite like, it's not a difficult watch from the first episode. It's very like nothing really happens.
Yeah. Here's something that did fucking surprise me is the fact that it's shot like a sitcom and it's got a laughter track on it. And I just found that real weird for a Netflix show. I don't know why, but it's just like Netflix don't really occupy that space of, you know, sitcoms that are supposedly filmed in front of a live audience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. But I guess maybe they're going more for the vibe than the experience. I mean, like, where they're just trying to get like the sitcom feel, but without having to like invite people into a studio to watch it being filmed.
well, the good news is that on the 4th of September 2019, Netflix gave the production a series order. On the 2nd of July 2021, Netflix cancelled the series after one season.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's a very... Like, if you were going to make a racing team thing, I don't think there are fans that take motor racing more seriously than NASCAR fans. Although, and I don't think you want to poke fun at them, because most of them are American and they don't get
it. We are recording this on, I think, literally the day after. Did you see the clip of this guy? There's a NASCAR racer who, like, he's stunned the world into silence because in a race he deliberately just put his car into the wall and then accelerated and didn't brake, and he ended up overtaking everybody. And the quote when he got out of the car was, "Well, it worked on the video game."
Yeah, no, I saw that because some F1 drivers were retweeting it like, that shouldn't work. But yeah, no, it's that is pretty mad. Like, I have watched some NASCAR and I don't get it.
So just to sum up, then, NASCAR is the one where they go round a circle for 500 odd laps or something. It's like a crazy number of laps, is it?
Some of the races are. I think most of them are like the same sort of length as F1 races, but they get more laps in that time, and it is. I'm not gonna say it's not a skilled sport, because it's a different skill set to the pinnacle of motor racing, Formula 1. But it's still quite the challenge, but it's more tactical than Formula 1 can be, because Formula 1 can just be, I have driven as fast as I possibly can and I have won. But NASCAR's more of a, right, I'm going to sit in the pack until the second to last lap and then I'm going to try and get to the front. And it's,
I guess, when you reduce it to like the simplicity of a track that is like an oval, for example, then you have to. That's how you have to play it, which I suppose it probably does make it quite interesting, but
generates a lot more crashes.
Yeah, not for the first 498 laps.
Yeah, and like they tend to race caution to caution more than green flag to checker flag, which is. It's a different kind of racing. And that's fine.
Does it translate to a comedy very well, though? Because my thinking is...
So that's half the point I was trying to make about 5 minutes ago, but I forgot to actually finish my point. I think it's too niche, and the people who might have enjoyed it possibly won't see the funny side of, like, people poking fun at, like, NASCAR team.
Is it too niche because we're this side of the pond? Do you think in America, those criticisms still stand?
I don't know.
It's difficult to know, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I bet like their turnout seemed to be pretty good, so I would guess it's not that niche. It's not a niche sport, but it might be niche in the way that, are people looking for it? Like in the same way that I've never gone, do you know what we need? A Formula 1 sitcom.
Yeah. I don't know, like, is NASCAR... I think, does NASCAR not offer itself up as having those more sort of sitcom style characters, though? Because I think the stereotype of a NASCAR driver that we see in, like, popular culture, I think, is like that southern redneck made good sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think that's where it might not have been a southern thing to start with, but it was from like moonshine runners, and that's where stock car racing started from.
Okay.
Because they had all these souped up cars for outrunning the police, and then Prohibition ended. They went, the fuck do we do with these? And then they turned left and never looked back.
Can you have a guess at as to which year did they ban the display of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events?
2020.
Yep. Is that because you've just been looking at the same article that I have, or was that a genuine guess?
No, I mean, I think I actually genuinely knew that. Because I think when it came out, I was like, wait, what? That wasn't already a thing?
Yeah, I know.
It's like when we banned slavery in like 2012. And everyone just went,
yeah, well done.
Was that not already a thing? It's like, we abolished it, but we just sort of stopped doing it. We didn't need to make it illegal. Like, yes, you fucking did. But I'm trying to think. It's weird because nothing super interesting or happens there, apart from, I guess, they have the classic. She comes in, tries to fire the driver because he just keeps smashing his car into walls. And they have a little like midnight race, and he goes significantly faster and then bins it. But I thought it was it was like a weird continuity thing that I noticed in that, because the driver gets into the car, no helmet on, cuts to a scene of him wearing a crash helmet. It's just like, but and also in this, like, a couple like minutes before that, so she does her out lap, hot lap, and then parks the car ready to go back out. But has she not had to go around the whole track again in the 5 seconds since you called her time? And I guess it's just sitcom pacing that you wouldn't really need to care about if... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'll probably watch some more of it to see.
I 100% will not be watching any more of this.
I just want to see if it, because while on the surface it feels like they haven't gone horrendously sexist, I have seen some things that suggest that it might take a leap.
Yeah. I just don't actually find... I didn't find it that funny. Like, at no point did I laugh or even, like, go, huh, anything like that. And, again, it could be that because, obviously we're not that au fait with the world of NASCAR, but, I mean, it's the sort of, it's not quite a fish out of water sitcom, but it's a dinosaur refuses to move on with the times sort of show, is what the feeling I'm getting from it, is that, it's new management versus old management. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it weirdly reminded me of? That is, like, it. I'm going to say it, and you're going to understand it. It's a stretch. It kind of reminds me of Two Broke Girls. In a way that it's someone who's, like, business educated turning up in a world that she's... I guess... I'm not going to say she's not the right fit, because it seems like she has some genuinely good ideas, and, like, he's just being a dinosaur. But it sort of has that same sort of feel. Like, that's how it sort of... I when she first walks into the office and they're like, this is Catherine, I was like, that's kind of like Two Broke Girls, where Caroline walks in and everyone's just like, oh shit, she's smart, but she poor.
I get what you mean, and actually what I'm realising that I feel like the show sort of backs the wrong horse, in that it shows us this story from the wrong perspective. Like, if it showed us the story from the perspective of Catherine going in and dealing with this, rather than it being all through Kevin James and how he reacts to all these situations, I wonder if I might feel slightly differently. But it just feels like there's a more interesting story to be told of the new person coming in, rather than an old person observing the new person coming in and changing, the status quo.
Yeah, it also removes the opportunity to, I guess, learn the sport. Like, because you could learn a sport with a character who's just come in, but when you've got the dinosaur, you have to, like, sort of have an understand. I think with this, you probably don't necessarily need to have like a in-depth understanding.
No.
Like you might need to get like the Dale Earnhardt like reference, but apart from that, but I got that from Gran Turismo, so
that one just went over my head. I don't know what that is.
He's a NASCAR driver, unsurprisingly. Yep. And that's the thing. I don't think there's anything in here that's like too heavy to like pick out and like get your head around. But
yeah, it's not impenetrable in that way.
I think it maybe shot itself in the foot by choosing a sitcom format.
It does seem like a weird choice, but then if it was presented as like a comedy, straight comedy show, without the sort of the laugh track and everything, I think it would just be more obvious that it isn't funny.
I maybe am not naive, but maybe they could have tried to tell like, because I can't tell if they're trying to tell like some serious stories but put some one-liners in there, or if they're trying to tell like a funny story and they've just flopped the jokes.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they are trying to tell like a semi-serious story but with characters who are
cartoons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm willing to give it a chance because they're like American half-hour episodes, so could smash through it. But
yeah, I just definitely won't be.
Yeah, I guess going back to your fish out of water thing.
Hello.
Ted Lasso.
Right. Yes. This. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I was surprised when it started and there were people playing proper football.
Our football, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said proper football. And I had to genuinely double check to make sure I was watching the right thing. Because I was like, I thought that he's an American man.
Correct. Ted is American.
Yes. And Americans, famously, not very well travelled, unless there's oil. And then... but there's the men in shorts kicking the ball around. And then a lady with an English accent. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then it got Americaned. And yeah,
I got Americaned.
Yeah, and I didn't hate it. Yeah, they stuck a flag in it or something. I don't know, but but I genuinely think I might watch a sitcom version of what Ryan Reynolds is currently doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably quite obvious we don't really give a shit about football, but I think this show, quite differently from, well, not even differently, but I don't think you need to know anything about football to enjoy this, but
I've looked at some of the guest starrings, and I think to give a shit about them, you might need to know something about football.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, well, about football or comedians. That's what I'm realising, because I spotted Lloyd Griffith in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few football players, some queue jumpers, and
nice, and some podcasters.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ted Lasso then is Ted Lasso is an American football coach who's enjoyed some success with the American football team. And he is called across the pond to manage AFC Richmond, whose manager has just departed in disgrace because he was having an affair with a lot of people, it sounds like, and his wife has divorced him, who is now the owner of the club. She hires Ted to
drive it into the ground.
Well, this is the thing. It is revealed that she actually, given that AFC Richmond was the thing that her ex-husband Rupert loved, that she absolutely wants to get rid of it, to burn it down. Now, here's the thing about Hannah Waddingham. Do you recognise her from anything? Don't look her up. Do you recognise it from anything?
Yes, but I couldn't place it, I think.
Okay. Would you like a one-word clue that will absolutely place her for you?
Yes.
Shame.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's her.
The thing is, now I see it now.
Yeah.
But fuck off.
Yeah, no, it's her.
Madness. Absolute madness.
So yeah, hit the overriding feeling that I'm getting from Ted Lasso from just the first episode is, I think this is going to just become a show.
It's going to become
really, yeah. It's just going to be really nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, because I was watching it and I was just like, I just like it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, guy, I've heard really good things about it, and I was just like, I don't think, as someone who really sort of only cares about a couple of sports and none of them involve balls, I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. And then I was maybe like 5 minutes in, I was like, I think I like this.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a pleasant surprise when I went in thinking, I think we even said at the end of last week that I was like, well, it's American football, I'm gonna have to understand it, and it's going to be a chore. And then it just wasn't.
Yeah. He's just so lovely, isn't he? That's the thing. The thing that is really, really apparent right from the off. That even when it's revealed that Rebecca is doing this just to, fuck over the club, and then I guess in turn fuck him over slightly. He's just so enthusiastic about it all, and then the reveal that the phone call he makes at the end, which is him calling his wife, and it clearly things are not going well in that relationship. You just empathise with him so much.
Yeah.
I loved everyone in this. There's not a bad performance in it.
Yeah, and it's weird because I would have thought that the idea of pitching like an American football coach coming over to coach an American football British football team would have made me go, that'll be quite jarring. Because I don't... But it's so well put together that you almost have like the two different feelings of just how characters talk to each other, where you've got Americans talking to Americans in their very like, yes, we are the best sort of way, and then you've got British people talking, you're like, those are the people that I recognise, and we're all cunts. And like when they put him in the press pit and he's just like, just bumbling and is a fucking idiot and can't drink sparkling water, which I totally get. Like, and it's just, you're like, I just feel sorry for him because, as it turns out, football fans, cunts.
Mm.
And I think it's just a genuinely nice story. I think it's going to be a lot of fun when I watch the rest of it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm even... So this is how sort of backward my head is because it's on Apple TV. I thought, well, I don't own an Apple device, I can't watch it. So I was a bit like, how the fuck am I going to do this? But then I realised that if you go onto the Apple website, you can watch the pilot for free. But I think I might be getting the free trial just to watch this.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard there are a few other things on Apple TV that are apparently quite good. So I'll have a look at that. What we should do is we should find out what's on Apple TV and plan in some pilots and just get them all out of the way.
That's quite a good idea. Even if you pay for a month, I suppose it's like what, £7?
Yeah,
just to have it for the month. Yeah. Even if you then cancel it straight after,
just another streaming service.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, what we can do is we can just record it all and have it as comfort telly for ourselves.
Yeah,
not that we would advocate like people illegally
piracy
recording stuff so that people without the correct streaming services can watch it. That's very bad, very naughty people. But love and respect you. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to keep watching both of these. One of them with more like urgency than the other.
Yeah, I 100% would be watching Ted Lasso, not watching. What's the other one called? The Crew.
Yeah, so if you can't remember the name, don't worry about it.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but Ted Lasso, I absolutely loved what I saw of Ted Lasso, and I cannot wait to watch more. It's to the point where I think I could watch it with Lise, and I think Lise would really like it as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably one that I think anyone could enjoy, and I think it's the same as with The Crew. I think people who are super into football probably don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Because they can't enjoy anything that's not men running around for 90 minutes.
Or skinhead violence.
Yeah. Well, they like that more for the prison experience. Because there are men running around trying to get in shorts. But yeah, I guess we've done an American half hour.
We have.
Yeah, 26 minutes. Time for adverts, if we could get any.
We could do what Chris Ramsey does on his podcast and just come up with a sponsor. Like, he does one for towels. He just goes, "Hey, are you wet? Do you want to not be wet? Buy a towel." There you go. There's an advert.
All right. Well, now we have to sell towels.
We realised that our running order is slightly confused because there is a show that we're due to talk about which does not come out for another 2 weeks. So we're going to have to swap some bits around. So the next episode you're going to hear, we're doing...
Our top 5 of the year.
It's a Russell T Davies special. So we got Years and Years from a couple of years. I think it was like 2019 that came out. And It's a Sin, which came out... Was it last year that came out? Was it the year before?
Yeah. Yeah,
good.
It came out
at
the end of last year.
And you said yes.
Yeah.
Nice one, dickhead.
I think it came out towards the end of last year. Did
Is
I
that
watch
right?
it in this flat?
I thought it was the start of last year.
It came out since I've lived in this flat.
Good. Oh, I'm glad that everybody who's listening now has a relatable and understandable...
Yeah, which means it was in the last 2 years.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That was never in question. Okay, 22nd January to 19th February 2021.
Yeah, so start of last year. Like I
Yep.
said.
Good.
And that's after I moved into this flat, so yeah, I was right.
Yeah, so Years and Years is I mean, I've seen half of Years and Years and it's fucking brilliant. So, looking forward to talking about that. It's a Sin I've heard is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Kind of scared to watch it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that'll be fun.
Yep, it's going to be... Oh. Not right, I'm going to have to prepare for a week.
Good.